Welcome to SveNFL.
What is up, y'all?
It's Jonathan Rollins.
Schif Misara.
And we're two Americans living in Sweden talking about football.
Yeah.
We are back, man. We are back. It's been a long time. It's been a great summer. And I'm glad to see you, brother. It's been a while.
In the words of a great NFL philosopher, Cordarrelle Patterson, we are motherfucking back in shit.
Did he say that or did he write it? Is there audio of him saying that?
I don't.
Because that needs
that's a
to
good
be.
question.
If there's audio of him saying that, it needs to be in.
It needs to be on our soundboard.
On our soundboard, yeah.
You know what? I will dig into that. I've only seen it as like a post or something.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he had a sign or something like.
But if he wrote it, that must mean that he says that shit.
Yeah, there's got to be audio of him saying that.
Yeah,
I've got controlled fury, and I'm ready to go.
That's how I feel, man.
I love it.
Yes, man.
I love it.
What's up, man? How's your summer been so far?
Summer has been interesting, mostly good. Spent 2 weeks split between the Italian and the French Riviera.
Man, the pictures you sent me were beautiful.
It was pretty cool, actually. One of the best trips I ever took was something similar like this a few years ago. And you know how it is when you live over here, you feel obligated to go back to the States every summer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And every once in a while you have that summer where you're just like, nah, man, I'm not doing it. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to take my family, my three favorite people on the planet, and we're going to travel. We're going to fucking go do something. And I usually have, you don't have any of that pressure of like hooking up with family and stuff. You just go and you chill and you hang out and you have a great time. Highly recommend that part of the world for anybody traveling. It's pretty cool. You pick a spot, you stay there, but then for about $5 a pop, you can hop on a train and go 30 minutes down the coast and check something else out for the day.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
We did that too, but for Skåne.
Yeah, Skåne is beautiful.
Yeah, we went down to the beautiful Swedish countryside and checked out different parts of Skåne every day. That was fun.
It's really, we did that, I think the year of the pandemic where we felt like, when it felt like you weren't really supposed to go anywhere.
Yeah, and you didn't know if there was going to be an NFL season.
Right. and they wound up playing to an empty stadium.
Yeah, and we started, that's when we started
weird.
this podcast.
Yeah. Exactly. We started it in the middle of the pandemic, didn't we?
Yeah, man. You were telling me that our first episode was wondering if there's going to be a season.
That's true, actually.
And we got one, a weird-ass season, and yeah. Now we're doing our thing.
I never really thought much about it until we started doing this podcast, but it seems like every NFL season is pretty weird. That one was definitely the weirdest because there were no people there.
Yeah.
But luckily there's a lot of interesting characters in the NFL that just keep making it weird every year.
Hey, before we get into that, the thing that's going on this year,
right,
is that every 4 years there's an election. And I always, as a kid, remembered the election year because it was also an Olympic year.
I never made that connection before. That's strange.
I did as a kid. I was like, well, it's going to be an election because it's Olympics. Every 2 years, there was basketball in the summer. I love that because there's the FIBA. There was always the World Tournament or whatever. And I liked seeing our players playing in it, always our college players, whatever. And then we started putting pros in, and it got serious. And so I was like, every even summer, we get sports in the summer because it's always boring. So we get that every even summer, and then every fourth year there's the election and Olympics because I've always been interested in U.S. politics. So this is the Olympics going on right now. I've been all in watching random fucking sports, man. I love this shit.
Isn't it? I'm the same. And especially now because it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Because now they have it kind of compartmentalized on these streaming platforms. So it's like archery, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Fencing, I'm here for it.
Gold and silver, baby. Gold and silver.
We actually, the first day of the Olympics, we just randomly turned it on and they were doing judo.
Oh, yeah.
And there was this little Swedish girl who won the bronze.
Yeah, shout out.
And then we didn't realize it until it was all over. But this girl goes to school with my son Isak.
Really?
They go to school together.
He didn't know it as he was watching her wrestle?
He wasn't watching it. It was just me and Joanna watching it. Okay. And then they brought up where she was from, and I was like, Joanna was like, wait a minute, I think that girl goes to Isak's school.
That's so cool.
That's pretty cool.
Is she still in school too?
Uh-huh, yeah.
So she's going to come back to school with a gold medal.
Totally.
Sorry, bronze medal. That is so cool, man. Olympic medalist.
My greatest memory from the Olympics, I was still living in Atlanta the year that Atlanta had the Olympics in 96.
Oh, yeah.
And I was working at a bar. And we got a lot of people coming in and out. And there was one particular night where this guy, big dude, I was like, oh, I bet he's like some kind of athlete or something, you know? He comes in, he's slamming shots of vodka all night long. And I'm like, nah, he's not. You know what? He's just some big dude. He's not an athlete. I forget about this dude. 24 hours goes by. This guy comes back in the next night with a fucking silver medal around his neck. I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, you were in here last night. You must have done like 10 shots of vodka. And you telling me you woke up and went out and won a goddamn medal? He was like, yeah, I'm a weightlifter. I was like,
oh, shit. For what company? What country?
I can't remember. He was from some like weird Eastern European country that probably doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, wow. That's so cool, man. I'm so into it. And I forget too until it comes back around. And I'm like, I love this shit. Because right now, and every time I get a new favorite sport, actually, I didn't watch Tokyo that much. It was a weird Olympic. It was an off year. It was in 2021 because of the pandemic and all that. So I just kind of followed it peripherally. But now I'm sitting down in front of the TV. I got all my NBCs lined up because American coverage is kind of the best.
Agreed.
Just the way they make the drama. They know how to make it a story.
They build the narrative. It's so good.
It's just so good at it. I'm sorry, every other country.
They sucked me in. They sucked me in yesterday with the men's gymnastic team where they literally built this narrative where everything was building to this one guy
the brother,
doing the pommel horse. And I was like, how did you...
Yeah.
You managed to create climax from the pommel horse, like the least interesting event.
Fucking Bob Costas. I credit Bob Costas to that. Just knowing how to fucking start it off and get you hyped about it. They're good, man. So and then I watched that Simone Biles documentary. So gymnastics is always a top one for me.
She is fierce, dude.
Yeah, she's tonight 6:00.
Yeah,
the finals. But the 7-on-7 women's rugby.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet,
bro.
It's good.
And USA's doing well. Because normally, of course, I'm rooting for USA. And then I found that, and I didn't realize I do this, the locals, man. If there's no U.S. athlete, and I got to say it, if there's no black athlete, if there's no U.S., there's no black, then I root for the home country. It's so cool to see a home country person get a medal. So that's what I've been doing. It was a sad one for the gymnastics women because they were trying so hard to root this girl on, and she just couldn't pull it off for the French. But 7-on-7 rugby is fantastic, man. You get to see big kids. You get to see. You want to see some running, running the ball. The field is probably twice as wide as the NFL field, and it's only 7-on-7. So you basically and you can't throw the ball forward. I think you know that, right?
Yeah,
they have to pitch it backwards. So it always ends up basically a fucking one-on-one on the edge. And somebody's getting destroyed. That shit is so good, man. New Zealand plays U.S. The next, and they're always the best, so we'll probably get beat. But we beat Great Britain yesterday. But if we beat New Zealand, we get at least a bronze. So we'll see, man. I'm hoping that we can pull it off, but New Zealand is fucking New Zealand, man. But it's been so fun. So fun. I think France advanced too. So it's been great. Australia and New Zealand are always kind of the best.
The one I got sucked into is surfing.
Surfing? How do they judge that?
Well, there's all kinds of, mostly they judge it based on like your wave selection and also like how long you stay in the barrel. But it's funny because I watched it 2 days ago when they were just doing the preliminary heats and the waves were kind of small and whatever. I was like, oh, that sucks because it's one of the few events where they don't have any control over the playing field. Like it's Mother Nature. And last night I was like, let me check and see if the waves got bigger. And I click on it and the waves were like 4 times bigger than they were 2 days ago.
Wow.
And these guys are getting tucked into waves that are like the size of my apartment building. It's like,
wow,
you wipe out on that, it's like a building falling on your head. It's like,
oof.
It was crazy. But it was fun. It's fun to watch.
It's so crazy that's the one thing that's not in. Like, I wouldn't feel like an Olympic athlete. You're in Tahiti. The games are in Paris.
Yeah.
That would suck. But hopefully, I would hope like that after like that we get our competition done in the first couple days, and then I get to go hang out in the village. They should do that. So I feel like that would be so much a part of it is hanging out with the other elite athletes like that, just talking.
The Olympic Village is notorious for people having good times.
Yeah, man.
Lots of people hooking up.
Oh
lots of condoms being passed around. Lots of
there was Anthony Edwards, probably the future superstar in the NBA. He's already a superstar, but he's probably then carrying the torch from like LeBron. Anthony Edwards is his name. He's on the Olympic team, young guy, and the ping pong girls stopped him to talk trash to him from some country. It was like 4 Asian women talking to this big black handsome dude from Atlanta. And everybody's like, well, we know. He already had some type of drama too, where he kept pestering the girl about taking the abortion pill, and it went viral. And she kept talking to him like saying she didn't want to have an abortion. He's like, send the pic, send the pic. He wanted a picture of proof that she took the pill. And he kept saying, all he wrote was send the pic. Yeah, he put out an official apology later, but
man, that's funny.
I think she took the pill though. She's like, I had an abortion before. She's like, this ain't that time of my life. I need a baby. Send the pic. Send the pic. And now this guy's standing there surrounded by 4 cute Asian ping pong players. People like, oh no, Anthony.
Run, ladies, run,
run! Anthony's a monster. Y'all gonna have to send the pic. But it's been fun, man. I love this time of year, man.
Yeah.
But our favorite sport that we're most familiar with.
Yep.
Or you might be more familiar with hockey than football, but
yeah,
I think I'm most familiar with football than anything.
Yeah. For me, well, I was going to say, for me, I actually prefer the Winter Olympics over the Summer Olympics, mostly because I fuck with hockey.
Yeah.
I think the skiing is cool.
Oh yeah.
Also,
they say it's the white people apocalyptic sports, man.
It's true. And curling is like everyone's weird sport that they they lock into every 4 years. You're just like,
man. 2006, I went. That was an Olympics, right? It's it's the other even year, right? Yeah. In 2006, they had the Winter Olympics, and I was still in the military, and we just sat down in the dorms and drank and watched curling.
It's such a weird sport.
I had just met Sandra, so I was rooting for Sweden, they always good. So that was cool.
Well, in the next Olympics, they're going to have flag football.
Okay, so it wasn't going to be this one. All right, good. Are we going to send any pros?
They're still debating.
Because we got our ass kicked, right, by Japan or some shit in some like flag tournament.
Tyreek says he wants to play.
Man.
Good luck trying to cover that motherfucker.
My English. I think you met Mike, really tall English friend of mine. He used to play rugby, and he was saying like if America's elite athletes started playing rugby, like 7-on-7, that big field like that.
Yeah.
He's like, there's some football players that you get on that rugby field. I want you to watch one, and we can revisit this conversation later. Because I have some ideas of some players that would be insane.
Put like McCaffrey out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about McCaffrey and rugby. That'd be insane. I was thinking like Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, or like some of these younger guys like Jahmyr Gibbs with all that juke.
Man.
Bijan.
Man.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And their jukes are kind of basic. It works, though, because like they have to, like they get the field flowing one way. It's like the strategy is so dope, man. And then what team was that? I forget what team it was. I want to say England was really savvy. Yeah, because they beat France. That's what it was. They were small, and they were still like doing little tricks. It's cool, man.
7-on-7 rugby. Okay, I'm gonna check it out, and we'll revisit this conversation. Yeah. And maybe we'll do like a top 10 players we would like to see on the 7-on-7.
Yeah, Tyreek is all automatic. Yeah. Yeah, man. What you got going for it? What you want to update us on?
Well, first episode back. So I figure we would dive into some of the news. Obviously right now, well, the biggest story that happened over the summer that I don't think a lot of people are tuned into is this huge lawsuit against the NFL regarding the Sunday Ticket broadcast.
Now, because on YouTube.
Well, the problem there, the lawsuit is claiming it's some sort of an antitrust lawsuit where, so essentially, we over here in Europe, our version of Game Pass, is a little different than the one they have in America. But the real argument that these people are making is that, like, why should I have to pay hundreds of dollars to get all 17 games of all 32 NFL teams when it should be possible for me to just buy all 17 games of my team?
Okay.
Because, it's a fair argument, and it's happening.
There should be a different package?
Well, that it should be possible to just buy what you want to buy.
Why is that?
You know what I mean? Like, I just want to buy. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the NFL. All I want to do is watch the Falcons.
They can't tell you. I disagree with that. I think they should. They have the product. That's like saying HBO Max. I should be able to only buy House of the Dragon.
Right.
No. If I want to buy House of the Dragon, I'll wait till the fucking DVD comes out. You know what I'm saying? But if I want to see House of the Dragon, I got to get an HBO subscription.
Right.
No, they shouldn't. Man, fuck that. If you got favorite team, look at it like a favorite show. These people have this property that's theirs, this whole licensing that's theirs. All of the stuff on there, that's theirs. They can put it out however they want. No, bullshit.
The main argument that they're making is essentially, it says, rather than requiring fans to access the package through YouTube TV, it should be available on any cable or streaming package, which is essentially how it works with NBA League Pass or NHL Center Ice. Right now, it costs like close to $75 a month for a subscription to YouTube TV.
$75 a month for YouTube TV?
And then on top of that, it's another $350 subscription fee to view every NFL game to get the Sunday Ticket.
I get the argument that it's making you buy the whole package. I get that, but that's just, they can do what they want. If you don't want to, you know what happens? People are gonna go stream it or do some other ways, and then the NFL, if they want that money, then they'll make that available.
Right.
That's the free market being the free market. I don't know. You can't make some company. That's like saying I'm mad at Uber because I can't make it where I can have a driver service for the whole day. Why can't I book a driver to drive me around in Uber all day? Because we don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do it. I'm sorry. We don't want to do that service.
Well, the result of this lawsuit, the NFL lost the lawsuit.
What? That's a Trump judge.
And they could be liable for $14.39 billion.
God damn. Why do I see $4 billion here?
Well, I think there's
4.6 billion is what I see here.
Yeah, but then it was
Found them liable in damages to the residential class home subscribers.
Yeah, but it could go up. Anyway, it's
and 96 million. That's so many numbers.
I know.
To commercial class business subscribers. Now, here's one thing. For the commercial, I get that because I went to a bar that was showing NFL games and they couldn't show some games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, the commercial customer, it's different because they're paying for this thing, and now their people get hurt.
Right.
But being able to watch just one game, it has to be more to it than that. I don't understand it. How you can tell this company? I guess because the company has a monopoly. Maybe that's why.
That's what it is. It's an antitrust lawsuit. So
yeah.
You know,
I guess
saying
you need to
we're gonna
make everything available.
If we're gonna look the other way on your monopoly of football,
yeah, that's true.
You can't rip people off.
Yeah, that's true. Because you make all right. I'm with it now. Because there's no other option. There's no other league, and the NFL will buy you up if it comes down to it anyway.
Yeah,
they eat up everything else. So you have this luxury of being a monopoly. Then you have to provide all types of services.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody come to the NFL before and say we need this? Because that's just, if that's the case, we can find it. We should sit down and find another loophole that we could sue them for. Like, why can't I watch my team practice? Why don't y'all have a practice package?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we have our every year? You know how they do the roundup? To have a NFL films for the year.
Yeah.
For each team, you know, even if your team is like Carolina Panthers, why can't I access that for every year and then we sue them? I could use $4 million. I'll sue them for $400,000.
The thing that annoys me the most about the NFL is something that I don't think will change, and I don't think you can really sue them for, is the way they structure contracts. Like, how come a contract can't just be what it says it is? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, he got a 4-year, $55 million contract. It's like, yeah, but the last 2 years are 4 years, and there's a signing bonus over here. It's actually just a 2-year deal. I'm like, can't it just be what it says it is?
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to have a degree in economics to figure this shit out?
Exactly. But there's a lot of incentives and stuff, and you don't think it should be incentives either? Oh, the contract is what it is, and then incentives as well.
I like the incentives thing. I can fuck with that.
Yeah,
I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we got some holdouts. We got some contract disputes. We got some big signings. But let's talk about the big signings first. We got your guy Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, baby. Tua was out there. He came in there. He told them,
I need the money. I need the money. I need the money.
Tell him to bring me my money.
Apparently, did you see him on his first day after the deal?
Hell yeah. Lighten it up.
He comes out and says, show me the money.
Yeah. And
apparently one of his teammates dared him to do it. It's like, oh, you won't do it. He was like, oh yeah, I will. Watch me do it.
You ain't gonna do it, Oos. You know they call him Oos, the Hawaiian brother thing.
That's funny.
You got it, Oos. I'm glad for Tua, man. And then the NFL was like, you know what? Let's put him lower on the top 100 players and put Jordan Love above him. I mean, they made him 36. Well, how's Jordan Love?
Yeah, Jordan. So those two deals got announced kind of on the same day, I think. Jordan Love also got a new deal. Tua got 4 years, $212.4 million. and then the Packers gave Jordan Love a 4-year, $220. I don't know. I mean, there's obviously people have opinions about Tua. I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm glad for both of them, for the record. I'm glad for them.
Yeah, I'm glad for both of them. I'm a little more skeptical of the Jordan Love.
Same. Yeah, 1 year. He showed it in 1 year. That's a team getting behind the guy. They've been. It's
not even 1 year. It's like it's literally 8 games. The first 6 games of the year were shaky at best.
Yeah.
And then
the light
don't
came
know.
on. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Tua has proven it for longer, and they gave him a hard time the whole time.
Now, the logic you have to factor into this is that the sooner you give a guy like Jordan Love a deal, the cheaper that deal is, right?
Yes.
Because the contracts keep going up. So I understand that.
Yeah.
But that being said, from a fan perspective, you're looking at a guy who has exactly 18 career regular season starts, only played well in just over half of them. And, for me, the way the year ended, I mean, they won a playoff game, but then they lose the next game with this like goofy interception at the end of the game that just showed he's still not there yet.
Yeah.
Throwing the ball away it was a first down. Remember that? It was. It didn't have to. He didn't need to throw that ball. It was first down. There was still time on the clock. And also, I mean, you're talking about a guy, Jordan Love. This is a guy. He lost to Desmond Ridder and Arthur Smith, Falcons. And you're going to make this guy the highest paid quarterback in the league? It's like I don't see it.
Jordan Love came in higher than. Is Jordan Love Jordan Love and Tua? I guess we shouldn't talk about the top 100, but are they better than Joe Burrow?
I honestly don't. To me, the top 100 is not something I like. I just don't. I think it's a goofy.
Yeah.
It happens every year. Everyone's like, "What? Who should be here? Who should be there?" Blah, 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 blah. It's like nobody fucking cares. Go play football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, Tua gets the same kind of criticism. I guess you could think of him like Brock Purdy in a way, because it's like, is he a good quarterback or is he good for this system?
Yeah.
If you win a Super Bowl, it doesn't fucking matter.
That's true. I hope he does.
You know what I mean? Like, had Brock Purdy won the Super Bowl last year, he didn't. But had he won it, it's like, you can't take that away from him.
Trent Dilfer got a Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Jim McMahon.
Yeah. Yeah. These are Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon has Super Bowl. That makes no sense. So that's an example of a couple of guys who got paid. But we got a couple of other guys who are out here. This is that time of year. I guess the biggest name is Brandon Ayuk. Wants to get paid, but is not really getting the deal that he wants. And so he's requested a trade from the 49ers. Now, mind you, this appears to be how the 49ers operate.
Yeah.
This is what Debo did last year. This is what Bosa did last year. It seems like if you want to get paid in San Francisco, you got to throw all your toys on the floor.
The coach does it.
Yeah, exactly.
He does it. He threw his toys on the floor after the season was over, blamed his defensive coordinator, fired him, and now he's going to show it and prove it.
The other big name.
You think Ayuk's going to get paid? Like this, it feels like the bank man is coming for San Francisco.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. It's hard to say really, because I think
they need to win.
I don't think Ayuk has a lot of leverage.
No,
here.
he doesn't. But they need that talent. You know what I'm saying? Like if he gets traded, if he gets traded, and they don't get a Brandon Ayuk level player back, they're fucking their own window up, because Brock's gonna start. He didn't get paid yet, right?
he's supposed to be the next guy to get paid. I mean,
maybe that's why they're not paying Brandon.
which is next, but he's not due until next year.
Next year.
So,
Man, it's tough stuff, man. Man, you got to always be thinking about that shit.
I know. The team that's probably in the biggest sort of shitstorm is easily the Dallas Cowboys.
You don't say.
They got Dak on a contract year, hasn't been paid yet. CD Lamb is holding out. He hasn't showed up to practice. He's looking for a new deal. Micah Parsons is he's eligible for a new deal.
That's one that you just tie up. You just handle that right away.
Yeah. And then you have the coach, Mike McCarthy. This is the last year of his deal. So you've got four pretty big pieces of your team.
Well, the coach doesn't affect the salary cap.
No, he doesn't affect the salary cap, but he affects the Cowboys' pocketbook for sure. This one's going to be interesting to see what happens because by all indications, it appears that Dak is probably going to play out the year without a new contract, which means he's given some very interesting. He's given some very interesting interviews lately where he's admitting, he's like, look, all the great players that I looked up to as a kid, I think he said they never play for one team. Like they always wind up somewhere else. And if he's like, I don't want that to happen, but if it happens, it happens. So CD Lamb, I think they're going to pay.
You sure?
Yeah, because who else are they going to throw the ball to?
I know, and they threw it a lot. They threw it to him a lot last year.
They don't really have anybody else to throw the ball to.
Yeah, that's true.
And their run game is, not very interesting either. So I don't see I don't see a world where they can't pay CD Lamb. I just don't see it. There's other few interesting names. Alvin Kamara has reported to camp, but apparently he's seeking a new contract. He wants more money. The Saints are another team that appear to be.
They're always in cap trouble.
In some kind of trouble.
But they figured their way out of it, man. I don't know who. They got Houdini on the staff.
The other guy who's holding out of 49ers camp is offensive tackle Trent Williams.
Ooh, that's
11-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Veteran left tackle. You
got to take care of him.
You do not want to lose Trent Williams. Probably the most head-scratching one is Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick gets traded to the Jets from the Eagles right around the draft. Normally when a trade like that happens, the contract extension and all that kind of stuff is already sort of worked out. Like it's almost kind of contingent on the trade. But it turns out the Jets are out here, being the Jets. The Jets are doing Jets things, and that contract. It is what it is. It is what it is. So Hassan Reddick has not showed up to camp either.
Oof. Man, I wish them all the worst.
Yeah. Those are kind of the big ones.
Oof.
It's
I can't wait for the Jets to fall apart. They will, and I look forward to it.
You think so?
Yes. What?
I'm just curious. I don't know.
Think it's gonna work out for Aaron? Do you think? I mean, I'm out on Robert Saleh. I'm out.
Oh yeah. Well.
I think a good coach doesn't. Yeah, you're gonna talk about hot seats later in the.
Well,
summer.
we're gonna get to hot seats in the next episode, I think. But yeah, no, I'm with you. But the thing is that everything is on Aaron's shoulders, pretty much. The Jets go wherever he goes, for the most part.
Hey, Aaron, where are you?
So I don't think Saleh's in control of his own destiny.
That's the thing. I think a good coach doesn't let the situation get like that.
Right.
Like I was all in. I loved his energy on the sidelines in San Francisco. And now I'm just like, I'm all out now. It's like, you don't let the quarterback do that and the team just kind of be at the whim of this weirdo.
Have you been watching?
That's the new buzzword too, weird.
Have you been watching Offseason Hard Knocks? Have you seen it?
No, not yet, man.
With the Giants?
I'm going to check it out.
My first impression before watching it, just thinking about it, and also kind of I've kept hearing little nuggets here and there of what it was. And I was like, it sounds kind of boring.
Nah.
But then I started watching it and I was like, you know what? This is actually really fascinating. Joe Shane, the GM, is essentially the star of Offseason.
So cool.
Hard Knocks, because essentially this is about how the GM and his scouting team and the coaches all work together to sort of navigate the cap and decide to keep Saquon. Do they let him go? What do they do with the combine?
It's like the tapes. It's like watching coaches tape of an organization. Wow.
It's pretty interesting, actually.
I got to check it out, man.
It's pretty interesting. You can't watch it on our version of Game Pass.
I'll find it.
So I did it with a VPN and my HBO account.
Okay.
And was able to tap into the American one. You can watch it there. Or Max, whatever the fuck they call it.
It's so annoying they're turning everything blue too. Have you heard that? Some psychologists or survey study or whatever came out that we trust a soothing blue color. That's what all these apps are turning blue.
Yeah.
It's annoying as shit. Netflix was thinking about switching to blue.
You know what, though? You may trust blue, but I fuck with red.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I fuck with red. Yes. It's crazy, man.
If I need a favor, I'll call blue. If I want to have sex, I call red.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to smash.
If I'm going to smash, I'm calling red.
And I'm betting on black.
Because that shit don't crack, baby. Let's go.
Black don't crack, baby. That's just ridiculous. Look at your phone next time you need to take the train somewhere. The SL app used to be like the black and white. It's blue now. It's annoying. They're changing their color. It's weak as hell.
I'm so glad that we're having this. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
One of the other things I thought we would talk about, because, I mean, we got a couple weeks. Preseason football starts this weekend. I believe the Hall of Fame game is this weekend. We got some rule changes to remind everybody of.
Man, I've heard about the in practices kickoff rules.
The first one is the one that's going to annoy the shit out of everybody, because this one's going to.
It's too different.
I just think that it's going to. The hip drop tackle, I think, is going to be. I just don't have enough faith in NFL referees to call this consistently. I think you're going to see some confusion. You're going to see some anger. I understand the desire to, remove the types of injuries that can come from this particular tackle. But
how often do we see this tackle?
I don't
think it'll be that much.
We'll see. I don't know, but the hip drop tackle is real. It's a penalty this year. Just even the description. I'll read you the language. I'm on the actual NFL rules page, their actual language, and you tell me if you think this is clear or if there is room for interpretation. A hip drop tackle occurs when a defender wraps up a ball carrier and rotates or swivels his hips, unweighting himself and dropping onto the ball carrier's legs during a tackle. First of all, unweighting.
It sounds like waiting would be the problem.
It's like a made up word.
Yeah, unweighting.
They literally just made this word up. So how are we supposed to draw context from a made up word?
Unwait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me think about this a little bit, man.
Man, I thought we were going to be rusty coming back for episode 1, but you were firing on all cylinders, my friend.
so
this
dumb.
motherfucker's out here like, I can't wait.
I can't wait. I can't unweight.
Unweight.
That's stupid, man. I was trying to watch a heavy unweight fight the other day. So what is unweight yourself?
So,
they mean like you add like you basically drop your body. Why they gotta say unweight? Right? It's like you create dead weight, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to use the word dead.
It goes on. It says hip drop tackle will result in a 15-yard penalty
15?
and an automatic first down if a player uses the following technique to bring a runner to the ground. 1, grabs the runner with both hands or wraps the runner with both arms. B, unweights himself by swiveling and dropping his hips and or lower body, landing on and trapping the runner's legs at or below the knee. Does any of that sound clear to you?
So no, it does not. So you could grab them from the side and pull your weight, like drag them out of bounds and fall using your dead weight. But if you happen to fall on their legs, then it's a penalty. Because I'm just looking at it as a lower version of a horse collar.
Sure.
That's what it is. I mean, because horse collar, the most famous horse collar tackler is Roy Williams. He did the big tackle on T.O. that kind of secured a Super Bowl for the Patriots because T.O. didn't come back until that Super Bowl where he tried his best and Donovan McNabb was throwing up on the sidelines. So that tackle, the Roy Williams style of tackling, I understood why they took that out. It was breaking ankles and shit, fucking ankles up. This one, I don't see it that often.
I just...
getting your legs caught up is a part of the game, kind of. Like, are they going to look at the Nick Chubb injury and find a way to remove that? It's some things that won't get removed from the game.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it sounds very confusing. Any sentence that has the words at or in it.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Or and any sentence that has unweight in it. And this has both.
Back to the Olympics, hot take. When I watched the opening ceremony, here's my hot take. And maybe somebody said this before. If your country has the words Democratic, People's, or Republic in it, chances are your country ain't democratic. If you have to say it, you lying.
Did you see the controversy with that opening ceremony?
Oh, there were several. There was one where they called South Korea the Democratic People's Republic of... They called them North Korea, basically.
Yeah.
And then, of course, all the Christians freaked out because they thought the opening ceremony was making fun of the Bible, but
they're stupid.
You know, I love all these takes where it's like, well, if you weren't so interested in eliminating the Department of Education, you would have realized that it was like...
I like that one. I didn't hear that.
It was a nod to the Greek gods, you fucking morons.
Yes. And somebody also pointed out that maybe your religion was kind of patterned after that mythology.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's why the Last Supper kind of looks like that imagery.
Right. A couple other rule changes before we get to the big one. This will be interesting. Next year, teams will have the ability to challenge a third ruling following one successful challenge. So if you get a successful challenge, you're going to get a third.
Yeah, it used to be two. So you can get one wrong, get one right, and then because you got one right. But if you get two wrong, Mike McDaniel, then you're done. I like it. Did they change what you can challenge?
Yes.
Yes.
Or in some cases, they are going to include a ruling of a passer down by contact or out of bounds before throwing a pass. That will now be a reviewable play.
Down by contact. That wasn't reviewable?
I guess not.
I guess it was the spot. Because that was kind of the loophole back then.
Oh, here's another one.
When you say the spot, the balls.
They are going to allow a replay review when there is a clear and obvious visual evidence that the game clock has expired before any snap.
Not play clock. So we thinking about Dallas with Zeke at the getting plowed over.
Right.
But I think that was that same game, right? When the clock ran out on them.
Yeah.
I don't see how that's such a big deal.
I don't
it would
either.
be now if they said play clock. That's something that could be brought up eventually.
Sure.
When we're like, that half a second for the ref to look up and all of that shit. All of that stuff is on video. We can see that play shouldn't have been off. Should have been delayed game. Sometimes
It does seem a little strange that it's like, okay, there's that, like you said, that half a second between the ref that's looking at the play clock turns his head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the play is not already happening by that point.
The solution exists for this whole thing in basketball.
Oh, right.
When it gets to 0, there's a buzzer, and for the replays, they have the lights that flash on the backboard. Put them on the goalposts. Once the goalpost lights up, if the ball wasn't snapped, you can see it's a fucking delayed game.
This is a missed opportunity because not only could you do that, like
make the ball buzz.
As soon as the clock hits 0, you could like not only could you light up. I love the idea of lighting up the goalpost, but you could also play some music. You know what I mean? Like you could drop a song, like or something,
or you could do something like something with like time's up, something about time.
Yeah.
Time is on my side. Yes, it is. Yep.
Or something by Morris Day and the Time. What? Hallelujah.
All the players start dancing and shit.
That would be fucking great.
Yeah, or the Sandman come out from Apollo. There's so many things. It's such an easy thing, and it annoys me because it feels like once a game, you're like, players are pointing at the clock and they get the snap off.
What would be the most fun is if the ball, I like your ball, like, let's take the idea of the ball vibrating one step further. Like, all of the footballs are designed to self-destruct. In 30 seconds, this message will self-destruct. The ball just explodes.
The center's like, but I snapped it. Sorry, man.
That would be awesome. Just
or an ink bomb, like if you steal something at the store.
Yeah.
And the ink in the ball just squirts out.
That'd be great.
And you're like, look at the center's hands. It's ink all over it. It's sorry. I like it.
The big rule change is obviously going to be the kickoff rule.
I'm excited about it. I don't know how you feel.
This is pretty exciting. We talked about this before. Essentially, the kicker will line up all by himself.
Yeah.
And the kickoff team, the kicking team will line up, pretty close to the receiving team. This is obviously to reduce the injuries. But it also creates a scenario where, there's all these elements where if you kick the ball into the end zone, the receiving team is going to get the ball on the 30 or the 35-yard line or something like that.
Yeah.
So you have this landing zone where you want to kick the ball, and then you have the kickoff returners where, if you make it through the first level, the kicker's the only thing in your way.
Kickers better get in the gym.
This could get very interesting, and it's causing a lot of teams to rethink who qualifies as a kick returner at this point.
And special teams.
Yep. I'm hearing rumors that Deebo Samuel wants to return kicks. I'm hearing rumors that the Falcons are considering Bijan Robinson as returning kicks.
It's going to fuck Madden up, man.
I mean, it's gonna be.
People they're gonna be. Hold on. I'll pause the game. Let me change my returner real quick.
It's gonna be. It's going to be interesting to see, and it's going to be if there is a team.
Oh no, he's gone. You know who needed this? You know when this needed to happen? This needed to happen like 2 years ago. I'd say you add 2 victories on the Patriots if Bill Belichick is the coach, because he's going to figure out something before everybody else, a way to exploit this rule. This was the reason Atlanta should have grabbed him, just for this, for this rule change, because you're going to win a game. Like that 13-second game that we love to go back and look at with Buffalo and Kansas City. There's going to be more of that because these teams that score at the last minute are going to get either great field position or flip the go ahead touchdowns.
Well, this is obviously like you said.
Too.
I mean, when they first announced this rule change, I mean, I think within like 2 hours, the Steelers announced that they had signed Cordarrelle Patterson. Because he was a free agent. The Falcons didn't have any plans for him, and
wow.
So the Steelers were like, "Well, we'll take the greatest kickoff returner of all time, more or less."
What's the over? He's not better than Devin Hester. What's the?
He has the record.
I know he's got the record, but so does Emmitt Smith. But was he better than Walter Payton?
Fair enough. I can't argue. Or Barry Sanders.
Yes, exactly. Barry Sanders. Like, come on. Congrats, Emmett, with the most expensive offensive line ever. Over under on over under bets lost because of this rule change.
That's a good. Yeah.
We are going to be so mad at this rule change when we lose money every single goddamn week on an over under bet.
It's really going to be interesting, and like you said, somebody's going to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a huge advantage for whoever figures it out.
Is it Sean McVay or Sean Payton? It's a Sean.
You think a Sean is going to figure this out?
McDermott? We got 3 options. It ain't McDermott. They don't have the talent.
No.
But I think Sean McVay or Sean Payton. Those are the two. Those are my front runners for figuring this out right away. Where you just like, fuck it, we'll just make him take it from the 35.
It's going to be interesting to see what kind of player succeeds in a play like this. Like, is it going to be the typical return guy, or is it going to be the team that puts their star? Is it going to be the 49ers when they say, yeah, Debo, go for it? Is it going to be, some team who puts their running back? Or, if the Lions go, yeah, fuck it, let's see if Jahmyr Gibbs can do this.
Ooh, Dan Campbell might. You know what? I think we're thinking about the wrong players. I think you put your backup offensive linemen at that level and see if they can get past them. If you latch on a fucking, I don't know, I can't think of any fucking guards. But besides the stars, but like a backup guard, if he can get his hands on one of these linebackers or whatever you got trying to go tackle, and they can't get away from the block, or put them on one side. Put 3 linemen on one side. They come out and truck the fuck out of some. You're gone. Give Cordarrelle Patterson a little bit of a lane because you got a lineman that ran over a linebacker. Now you're following that block.
Yeah,
man. If somebody, you can figure that out. Somebody who's pretty good at think of the blocking more than the runner.
It's going to be interesting. This was an idea that was, borrowed, stolen, however you want to look at it, from the XFL. It didn't. It's not like it produced a ton of touchdown returns there.
Different talent.
So it's not. I don't get the feeling it's going to change the game too much. But somebody's going to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to be really good at it.
Somebody, Mike McDaniel, might have 2 runners back there, like doing some pitchback type shit, like making a big ass reverse.
Right.
I remember the first time I saw a kickoff return reverse, and lost. You remember the Bears did the one where the guy faked like the ball was coming to him? but the other guy was on the other side, and he was standing there with the fair catch, waiting, and everybody went over to him, but the ball went over there. The other guy caught it and just runs down.
Was the Miami Miracle, that wasn't a kickoff, was it? Was that a punt?
No. Tannehill was in. That was a throw.
Oh, wait, that was just a regular offensive.
Last play of the game.
Hook and ladder kind of play.
Yeah.
Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, man.
Just retired.
Rob Gronkowski.
That was one of the funniest. I saw that clip where they're interviewing him. He's like, I looked up and I was like, what the hell is Gronk doing out here?
Oh, I'm getting a touchdown. I knew I was going to score it in. Yeah. That's great, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I think it's going to be fun. Let's see. I thought we would wrap up by discussing familiar faces in new places.
Yes.
We got some folks who are playing for brand new football teams.
Raheem Morris? No, I'm just playing.
Well, that's on the coaching level. Some of these guys pretty interesting. You got. We could start on the defensive side of the ball. You've got some pretty significant contributors, guys like Patrick Queen, linebacker for the Ravens, now playing for the Steelers.
Ooh. Can he leave that division? You can't let that player go somewhere in another division. He's made for that division. I love that dude. He's one of my favorite edge/linebackers. That dude hits. I didn't know they let him go. I would never let him go.
Yeah. Okay. It's, who's the other one? Oh, your guy, this one's sad. Christian Wilkins obviously goes from the Dolphins to the Raiders.
Yeah, it hurts. You know what? I thought about him the other day because I was watching some old Dolphins games, as you do, as a tape head, and he's such an agitator, and I loved it. You could see him trying to get under people's skin. And when we play the Raiders, I'm going to hate it. I just know I'm going to hate it. I'll be like, oh, fucking Christian. Because he likes to do little shit like push after the play or like pat you on the butt, little shit like that to get under people's skin. And the loving it to hating it is going to be an adjustment for me.
Yeah. The other big loss is 49ers D lineman Eric Armstead is now with the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm. He's down there. I heard that he went there because of a certain player on their team.
Always wanted to play with Mac Jones.
It's a Mac attack. He's looking shitty in practice, so I hear.
Mm-hmm. The other one is edge rusher Brian Burns.
Where'd he go?
Goes from the Panthers to the New York Giants.
Man. He went from shit to fart.
He sharted himself.
From shit to shart. Like, God damn it. I'm really mad at his agent. Come on, man. Come on, Jimmy. You could give me somewhere else, man. Giants. Oh, man, I could be wrong. Giants might be good. They won't.
You got a couple of other weird ones. Okay, let's move up into the offense. These players don't really matter that much, but they've been around for so long. You got guys like Jon and Schif. This guy's been around the league.
Yeah,
he was with the Falcons last year. Apparently, Arthur Smith thought it would be funny to throw touchdown passes to Jon and Schif instead of Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, why would you do that? Yeah, makes sense.
So now he's with the Dolphins. So he's your problem now.
Apparently, he looks great in practice, but you know how that is.
He's good. He's good. You got guys like Gerald Everett. It was a pretty good tight end for the Chargers. Now playing with the Bears.
Ooh, Caleb.
Let's see who else we got.
Odell
Wide
Beckham.
Receivers. Wide receivers are probably the most interesting. You got Calvin Ridley. Goes from the Jaguars to the Titans.
Did they ask him the over/under?
Yeah, exactly. You got Gabe Davis going from the Bills to the Jaguars. I heard there was one particular player that he was looking forward to playing with. Is this already our running joke? I love it. Darnell Mooney goes from the Bears to the Falcons.
Wait, Gabe Davis, you said, went to the Jaguars?
Yeah.
Who is the number one receiver in Buffalo? Oh, no,
question.
we said it's Mac Hollins.
Actually, you know who it is? The next one up. Curtis Samuel goes from the Commanders to the Bills.
Oh, shit, to play with Mac Hollins?
Yeah. Probably the most interesting receiver will be Marquise Hollywood Brown going from the Cardinals to the Chiefs. His career has been, I don't know, I guess we all kind of expected maybe a little more out of him. He played with a, run-heavy Ravens team, goes to the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's injured for most of that time there.
Marquise Brown is now with the Chiefs?
Marquise Brown with a functional quarterback. We'll see what that looks like.
And then didn't they get didn't they fleece the Bills in the draft to get like the fastest player?
Xavier Worthy.
Marquise Brown's fast as shit.
Have you seen the clip? Training camp? I mean, whatever. It's like, they're not wearing pads, but it's like day one of training camp. Mahomes rolls out to his left and throws a 50-yard bomb to Xavier Worthy. He was just absolutely burned the guy trying to cover him.
Are they going to be the first team to three-peat?
Could be.
I saw something. They asked him if he's underpaid, if he feels like he's not making enough. Patrick Mahomes. I was like, what, are they going to restructure his contract every year? And he said he's not underpaid. So.
He doesn't care. That guy's making so much money all over the place. It doesn't matter to him. Running back is obviously another interesting one. These are probably going to be the weirdest ones for us, for me anyway, to see these guys wearing a different helmet and a different jersey.
Derrick
Henry is definitely on the top of the list, going from the Titans to the Ravens. You got Saquon Barkley going from the Giants to the Eagles.
Man. Jeez.
Josh Jacobs is not a Raider anymore. He's a Packer. That feels weird.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon is now playing for the Texans.
Joe Mixon playing for the Texans?
Joe Mixon plays for the Texans now.
Watch out for them fucking boys, man.
My man, former Bulldog DeAndre Swift, goes from the Eagles to the Bears. Tony Pollard's a Titan. Aaron Jones, another guy who goes in the division from the Packers to the Vikings.
Oh, wow. Who's their quarterback? They got that rookie quarterback. Is that it? They just going
Vikings?
with that guy? Yeah, they're just going with that quarterback?
They got Sam Darnold. And the rookie.
Sam Darnold and the rookie.
A shit bowl brought to you by Xlex.
So it's going to be the rookie. Okay.
The Giants fans, the Giants have to deal with losing Saquon Barkley to the Philadelphia Eagles. And then they have to figure out a way to accept the fact that his replacement is now Devin Singletary. Yeah.
Damn.
He's
not going to make my top 10 for the 707s.
No. Austin Eckler goes from the Chargers to the Commanders. And then the Chargers replace him with Gus Edwards from the Ravens.
In front of you, so okay, no slander.
Zach Moss is now the lead back for the Bengals.
Damn, it's a lot of Bills, ex-Bills in this. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Zach Moss might be, I don't know if I wouldn't consider him an upgrade from Joe Mixon, but he's certainly a better blocker, which is, keeping Joe Burrow healthy is pretty much the name of the game over there.
Yeah.
And then, of course...
How's he still coach? How's Zach Taylor still coach?
It's a fair question. We'll see. Quarterback position, obviously, a lot of interesting moves here. You got my guy Kirk Cousins going from the Vikings to the Falcons. A lot of chatter about...
Do you like that?
What's this? Do I like that? I really want to like that.
Yeah.
I'm a little scared of that. But
He was
I'm
good.
here.
He was really good before he got hurt.
I'm here for the hype. You know what I do like to hear? What I'm hearing out of Falcons camp is that both Cousins and Penix are just lighting it up, pretty much. So I feel.
Have we heard something like that before?
No, never. Listen. Hey, they're in the best shape of their life.
Yes,
they've never felt better.
Yeah.
No, we never hear things like that.
No, you're right. Good point.
So this is different.
Who's your quarterback? What's that guy's name? I already forgot his name.
Who? Desmond Ridder?
Ridder, yeah. Remember they were talking about out of camp? Man.
You know where Ridder is? Ridder is now the backup for Kyler Murray in Arizona.
Oh, shit.
So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew is a Raider.
Okay. So they're going with AOC?
We'll see.
Okay.
Depends on what Devonta Adams says, I guess. You've been watching that.
And
You've been watching that?
No, not yet. I thought about it on the way in today. I'm
seen a couple episodes of the receiver thing, and man, you really feel for Devonta Adams having to deal with Josh McDaniels and Jimmy Garoppolo as his quarterback. They keep cutting to him on the sidelines, and Devonta Adams is so pissed. So pissed.
I forgot about that.
You gotta watch
drama.
it. It's good.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's good.
Shit,
I said it earlier. Sam Darnold is with the Vikings now. Jacoby Brissett appears to be set to win the starting job for the New England Patriots. Good luck with that.
Damn, they're in full-on rebuild.
I don't know if this is still on the soundboard, but the Eagles, for some reason, let this guy out of the building again in the division to the Washington Commanders. Marcus Mariota?
I don't think it's in there.
Marcus Mariota?
How'd they let him go, man? Eagles
Marcus
to
Mariota.
what? To what team?
He's with the Commanders, so he's going to be back up to Jaden Daniels. I
thought he was gonna get one of these. But no.
Drew Lock is now with the Giants.
Come on, man. We're bottom of the barrel now.
But think about what happened to the Giants last year. You telling me this guy's not going to get meaningful snaps? He's playing.
But he's Drew Lock.
The Giants, I think, might have a case for being the worst team in the league this year, I think. Jameis Winston is now hanging out behind Deshaun Watson over in Cleveland. Mitch Trubisky is playing for the Bills. But we knew that already, I thought.
I didn't know that.
Or maybe not.
Was he there last year?
I thought I could have swore he was there last year. Maybe I don't know. Everybody's favorite quarterback, Mason Rudolph, goes from the Steelers to the Titans. And of course, we've got the Steelers. You know, I mean, who knows? They got Justin Fields and they got Russell Wilson. You know, the old saying, if you got two quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks. I really don't know what's going to happen here. It's going to be fascinating.
Where did their guy go? Their draft pick go?
Which guy?
The Steelers draft pick. What was his name? I can't remember anybody's name. From Pitt.
Who? Not Najee Harris?
No, they played for Pitt. The quarterback.
Oh, shit.
Where'd he go?
Fuck, I know the answer to this, but I kind of forgot it. What's his name again? Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett, yeah, that's it.
Kenny Pickett is now the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Hey. Okay.
Wow. Damn. Interesting.
Was he drafted the same year as Fields, or he came after Fields, huh? Year after Fields.
He came after Fields. Fields was in that same draft with Trevor Lawrence.
Zach Wilson, that great draft.
Mac Jones.
That's got to be, I'm sure there's worse quarterback drafts, but that one was
pretty bad.
As far as how high they went. Remember, they were like, Zach Wilson was number 2. Robert Saleh, man.
Was Purdy in that draft too?
He was the last, right? Isn't that the
Was
one
he? Was that the year he was the last?
I think so, because that was the year after. Because that was the year after that 2020 draft with these guys that are all getting paid now. With Hurts and Tua and Burrow.
That was also the year. Wasn't that the year that?
That's a crazy draft.
That was the year the 49ers took Trey Lance too.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Now he's a backup for.
Because they took Trey Lance and then Purdy came last, right? Didn't they get both of them?
So. I think so. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan, just saying. Not as smart as you think he is.
He got him to the Super Bowl twice.
Best luck, dude. That's fucking luck. I don't give him credit for that.
And he cut his losses. That's what these coaches don't do. Cut your fucking losses. I made this mistake. I grabbed his guy.
That I give him credit for. That I give him credit for. He cut his losses on Trey Lance.
Mid-season, he always does something savvy mid-season. He finds out what his team has got, maximizes it. That's not bad.
I give him credit for that. He made a mistake, cut his losses.
He seems like a spoiled brat, but he knows his shit. You can't be a great coach and scout. Look at Belichick.
True. Mm-hmm.
And he might not even scouted him, Trey Lance, but he was kind of aggressive. All right.
Besides your own team, which team are you most excited to see this year, do you think?
Good question, man. Damn, that's a good question. I wish you would have asked me before so I could think about it more. You got anybody on your mind? I want to look through this, man. You know what? I do know. The Rams, man. I'm excited. They got past that purchasing championship era, and they got 2 drafts under their belt since they offloaded all that money. This past the Aaron Donald era. Sean McVay has, I think, solidified himself as truly a top coach in the league. If people doubted it, last year should have shown it. And he nailed the draft last year. We'll see if he nailed it this year too with 10 picks. So I'm excited to see the Rams. That's the team that I'm really hyping myself.
I'm kind of excited for that whole division, if I'm being honest.
Hell yeah.
I think the NFC West could be really fascinating this year. You got Seattle with a whole new coaching staff.
With that Baltimore ilk, too. Imagine that, adding that to that.
Not only that, Baltimore ilk on the defense, but also the offensive coordinator is from University of Washington, which is like a full-on air raid offense. So that could be kind of interesting.
And I agree with you. A hometown guy, too.
I agree with your take on the Rams. 49ers are going to 49er like they have been the last couple of years. And then I don't expect the Cardinals to be good, but Kyler's back. He's healthy. They got this Marvin Harrison Jr. kid in the building. They're at least going to be interesting to watch. I think that division could be really, really fun this year. But as far as teams are concerned, I'm interested in a couple of teams, obviously, especially the ones that feel like they have something to prove. I'm interested to see the Bengals, to see if they can.
You always like them.
I'm also interested.
You biased. You Bengals biased.
I'm also interested for the chaos. Like I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with the Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
Like, is it going to? It feels like the floor is getting ready to fall out from under them.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. Same thing with Buffalo. I feel like I have genuine concerns for Buffalo.
Oh yeah. I feel like it too. Or it could like this, as just like we talked about Sean McVay, how last season he got to solidify himself with the performance he put on. This is the season for Josh Allen to do it, to shut all the doubters out, to shut them up. The people who say stuff like, I don't know, I've heard that he's fool's gold. Like, there's people that say stuff like that.
How could they?
And there's no way, like, that would really shut me up. If he comes out and has an MVP type season where he's not leading the league in turnovers per se, like he did last year among quarterbacks, I'm sorry, He was second. Was he second or tied? I'm sorry, but he was bottom 2 at the very best. If he loses all of the people that he lost, the receivers that he lost, and somehow, because his career did flip once he got Stephon Diggs, and that was my theory as well. So if he loses Stephon Diggs and still performs at that high level that he was performing and not trying to take the game into his own hands and ruining the team's chances, then this is the time for him to prove it. This is one that I would, but I do feel like bottom's gonna fall out.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Another one I'm excited about is. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have more?
Well, I was just going to say that I'm pretty sure their number one wide receiver at the moment is Khalil Shakir.
Okay, that's good.
Ever heard of him?
He's two first names. That always works out.
I think the Texans are going to be fun. Can the Texans?
Oh, yes.
Can the Texans?
That's a team I could root for.
Was it a blip or was it real?
Nah, it's gonna be
You know
fun.
what I mean? Like, that's going to be fun to see.
That's gonna be fun, and it's another Shanahan tree member too. The coach. Another one I'm interested to see if it's real or fake, and if listening to your players is really a good idea. Las Vegas.
That's a hard habit to break, isn't it? I still think of them as the Oakland.
I'm looking at it too. I'm looking at it say Las Vegas, and I just saw the black and the white and the logo, and I was like, Oakland.
We should just call it Oakland.
Just
Kind of
call
like
it
how
Oakland.
everyone just keeps calling X Twitter.
Yes, I'm still going. I'm calling it Twitter forever.
No, we're not going to call it X.
No, I'm not calling it X. And but the Raiders, I think it was a mistake. I really like Antonio Pierce, but I think that was a mistake, and they're going to regret it. Listening to Max Crosby.
Right.
These decisions shouldn't be made in the heat of the moment, and it seems like they let a player. Don't let them Aaron Rodgers you. Don't be listening to players like.
Hey, Ron, where are you?
Obviously, the one thing I'm most excited to see is if my man, former Bulldog Nick Chubb, can come back and run through a motherfucker's face after that terrible injury last year.
So true, man.
Seeing that video a couple weeks ago posted of him squatting.
Yes, all of that with the bent bar.
500 pounds. It's just like, good Lord. This man is a machine.
Yeah, man.
They just not gonna want that.
That was like my summer football orgasm. Watching Nick Chubb squat 500 pounds.
Over and over and over and over and over and
Exactly.
over and 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 over again.
So great, man, that he said it so many times. All right. Well, this has been fun. It's great to be back. I feel like we never left, man.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It's good shit.
Yeah, man. With those of you listening, we'll be back next week. SveNFL is back rolling with some more offseason updates. We're gonna talk about some coaching. We're gonna talk about some preseason stuff. And those of you that are Patreon subscribers, fantasy is coming back. And and you just go to patreon.com/SveNFL to join us on Patreon, and you can get your fantasy bets and some. And I'm sorry. You get in the fantasy league and follow our betting journey. We got some money out there.
We got 2 fantasy leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have enough for a third or no?
We'll see. That's we got to talk to our boy, to my brother, the commissioner.
Champ.
See what he says. Yeah.
You can call me Champ.
And we'll talk to him and see. He hit me up saying we got to get it started. So. And somebody contacted me about it already that's not in the league, asking if we have one. So, gonna get it going.
I'm ready.
Stay tuned. I'm ready, man. You're the reigning champion, so we got to.
I am the reigning champion.
Deep Throat, you're sitting on the Iron Throne. Well, we're not Game of Thrones over here. We have a different type. It's not iron. It's aluminum. We have the aluminum throne.
Right.
I want to make an aluminum replica of the Iron Throne to give out to the winner of our fantasy league. Sitting on the aluminum throne is a skiff.
Yeah.
So, or maybe the throne could be the toilet. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Could be anything.
And I kind of want to come up with what do we say for the loser? We're going to come up with something better than just the relegation. I want to do some public humiliation. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, we should talk about that.
I like the.
Let's talk about public humiliation in the next episode.
Yeah, man. Public humiliation for.
Or if you're listening and you have an idea,
send it in.
What's our email address?
SveNFLpod@gmail.com. So,
if you have an idea for how to publicly humiliate
the
loser of fantasy football, we want to hear it.
Yeah. I like the pancakes. 24 pancakes in 24 hours.
I saw the guy who had to spend 24 hours at a McDonald's.
And do what? But until he ate, 24 Big Macs?
No, they had a whole spreadsheet where different menu items reduced the time. Like if you ate this many Big Macs, if this many McNuggets, it cut off 30 minutes. If you ate this many, they had the whole thing set out. It was It kind of caught fire, and this guy apparently he's some kind of a podcast producer or something. So they put it out on social media, and then next thing you know, he was on ESPN picked up on it, and they did a live interview with him while he was still at McDonald's. It was pretty funny, actually.
That's great. We got to come up with something, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's been fun. Well, holla at you. Oh yeah, I got to do the music shit. I'll be forgetting, man. I'm rusty still, man. I know it feels like we never left, but we did leave. We'll be back. It's gonna be smoother. Yeah, we did it. This is the first one back. Summer's almost over. Check out the Olympics. Do all your sports. We'll be back with our best ones for the 7-on-7s. But it's been Jonathan Rollins.
Schif Mizara.
With SveNFL. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Lady y'all.